Okay, so this is part two of potentially a 8 video series, just sort of documenting what I gained from my experience and the most memorable moments for my time traveling over the last 5 months. Just to sort of recap, the total amount of money that was raised for the fundraising, and everybody thank you for supporting and circulating that campaign, was £933.48. Part one talked about Kenya. I'm going to quickly talk about Zambia now. Um, so I was in Zambia for 2 weeks, and um, I didn't really have any expectations for Zambia. I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't realize how close it was to Victoria Falls. I hadn't done any research. I basically just said, these are the countries that I want to go to. These projects all start on particular dates. I can make this work. Here are 7 countries. Go. I'll find out about the countries as I arrive. I guess my life is a bit too busy for me to sort of bog down the details of what exactly is going on before I get there. And it's just almost part of the fun to just sort of get there and be surprised. Um, so yeah, Zambia. I of the fundraising money, about £68 went to supplies. So this was for the community development project. I had originally signed up to do this project, but then on arriving and sort of learning how it was building a brick wall, I sort of said, please, can I change to something else? So I changed to elderly care, but I did spend one day working on the site, and um, I may have muscular arms, but what I have learned is I cannot carry heavy bricks. It was such a hard day. I think I got to the point where I just kept on cementing. That was like what I could do fine. Um, anyway, so then the following day I went on to work with the elderly care centre, and it was really sweet. Like, I live with my grandmother in the UK, so I'm sort of used to the old school people. But just being surrounded by so many of them, and they just all have different traits. You have the 3 guys who would sit in one corner all the time and just sit together. And every time I walked past them, they didn't speak English, but eventually they sort of realised what they needed from me. So they'd always give me their bottle, and I'd always go fill it with water for them and bring it back. Um, and then I got to a point where I started off, and it was like in that project, it was almost a case of figure out what you want to do. You could sit down with one old person all day if that's what you want to do, or you could sort of mingle with all of them. So I decided to to basically, I sort of noticed from the few interactions that I had that they all really had poorly kept fingernails and toenails. So I bought the supplies, bought some nail varnish, and just went about approaching different old people every day and just saying, can I cut your fingernails for you? And yes, they did not understand. So sometimes it just meant I went up to them, gave them a big, massive smile, made them feel comfortable, got down on my hands and knees, and started to clean their fingernails. And then they'll sort of realize, okay, that's what she's doing. And after day 2 of doing that, I had old people calling me over to come clean their fingernails or come cut their fingernails. Um, and that was fine. Like, I didn't feel grimy or anything about it. And it allowed me to sort of get close to them and to understand them a bit more. And, the sweetest thing is when you're speaking to them, and they don't understand you, but they reply to you in their local language and they go full on. It's almost like you can understand them, and you're just like, hold up, I have no idea what you're saying. But yeah, so I did that. So money was spent to buy supplies, money was sent for the community development and to build the supplies for building that community centre, which where all the kids were going to go for learning and training and skill training and all of that sort of stuff. And then I got into the habit of buying bananas every single day for the old people, because I sort of realised each time I approached them, one of the things they always said was either hungry or they indicated they were hungry with their hands. So that whole, give us food. So I just started buying them bananas because it was the only thing I could think of that was healthy and that would help them and give them energy. Um, so I also became the banana lady who walks around talking to old people and cuts their fingernails. Um, but an amazing thing about Zambia is there is so much to do. I never realised that before I went. And I went on the month of my birthday. So I literally got involved in every activity you could think of. I did the Makuni Big Five, which was walking with the elephants, lions, and cheetahs. I did Victoria Falls. I did the Devil's Pool. I did a bungee jump. I didn't do Botswana National Park because of the location, because I'd done that in Kenya. But I did do day trips to Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, um, and it was just a perfect experience. So that sort of summarizes what I did in Zambia. I guess the biggest learning for me in Zambia was was how little was the fact that you didn't need to do a lot to make a difference. And I really do feel like in each location that I went to, I made a difference, not just by whatever financial support I was able to give them, but just by being present and being such a positive energy, I suppose.